There are a variety of patterns
Yes.
to be used in order to achieve a particular outcome. We get in trouble when we think, okay, that's the way you're supposed to do
Right.
it.
So there are lots of ways, right?
Sure.
But you're really saying help the learners do something and not just sit there and try and take in information, right?
I think there's been an eternal challenge for any teacher, and that is every week we have the hope and the expectation that people will have read the material that we're covering in that particular week.
Right.
And I think many teachers would say, oh, it's terribly hard to get the people to do that. Well, again, this is only one. It helps the learners if they understand that they are agents who act, not objects coming to be acted upon. And a teacher has to be patient because this is a very different pattern than what we are accustomed to in the culture of the church.
Right.
Let me just give an example of what I do when I'm with missionaries. I do not go and spend 3 or 4 hours giving a talk to missionaries. Depending on the needs in that particular mission, I'll invite them to read 2 or 3 messages, general conference talks or other things. And as I begin working with the missionaries, I may take 5 or 10 minutes to kind of help them understand the pattern that we're going to be using. And then my question is, what did you learn? What stood out to you as you read and studied these messages? And then I just listen to them, which helps me know where they are and what they need. And in the process of listening to and building upon their comments, the Holy Ghost will guide us to the things that are needful in that particular mission. Now,
That could be done in any class.
yeah, not all the time,
Not all the time.
but sometimes.
Right.
The notion is that just as in a car with a standard transmission, you have a series of gears, and each gear is oriented to a particular driving situation. Mm-hmm. Well, there are settings where information needs to be conveyed, and there's a particular pattern for that. There are different patterns so that people can take the information and try to get it from unto into. And that doesn't happen because people are talking at them. It happens because the learners are acting. So you just have to use the right pattern in order to achieve the desired outcome. The pattern I've emphasized often is that effective teaching is first listening and observing so you can discern. Then and only then do you know what to say. If what we do is talk and tell without listening and observing and discerning, in essence, you're a teacher talking to yourself.
So if teachers want to talk to themselves, they can do that.
Yeah.
But often...
But as you take a look into the faces, into the eyes
Right.
of the people in a class, you begin to discern. Not even consciously. The Holy Ghost can guide you to give utterance to things that don't necessarily come through your conscious brain, think, oh, this is what I need to say. But it can be precisely what is needed or what helps the Holy Ghost get invited into somebody's heart.